In the last session, we started already, sir, how to read input from the keyboard. How to read input from the keyboard we covered already, right? Sir, can you spell out how many methods are there to read input from the keyboard? How many methods are available, sir? Of course, in the Python 2 there are two methods are available, right? Sir, what is the first method is, have you remember, right? Raw underscore input, raw underscore input. What is the second one, sir? Input, like this. Sir, these methods in the Python 2. But in the Python 3, but anyway, Python 2 gone, not required to discuss much, sir, even with the repetition also. Sir, Python 3, but in Python 3, we have, sir, only one method. What is that method? Is input is a function. Regarding input function, by using input function, happily we are allowed to read the data from the keyboard. Remember that, sir. But there is one small problem is there with this input function. Anyone, can you please tell what is that? What is that problem, sir? Yes, what is the problem with this input function? Input function return type is always what? The string only. Even you entered boolean type, you entered number type, anything, sir, you entered anything, sir, it is always going to be treated as input str type only, stringer type only. That's why compulsory we require to perform typecasting, sir. By using typecasting functions are there, int, float, bool, like there are multiple typecasting functions are available, sir. By using that, we can able to convert into our required type. Clear for all of right? Then immediately some people may ask, sir, why input function is always going to return only str type? Some people may ask, sir. Very simple, because the most commonly used type in any programming language is the str or string type only. That's why is the string type only. That's why most of the times common requirement is the string. That's why default type in Python is also considered as str type only, right? Okay, the default type, okay, in Python is by default considered as str type only. Okay, remember that. Next, and after that, is it possible to read the multiple values, multiple values from the keyboard, sir, just in a single line or not? Yes, there is a possibility is there, sir. Sir, just I'm taking x is equal to input of, just have a look once, sir. Input of enter first number, like this I'm taking, sir. Enter first number, like this I'm taking. But return type is what type, sir? str type. That's why compulsory have to take what? Int function we require to take, sir. Have you observed, right? Compulsory we have to take what? Int function we have to take. Sir, now how many values we are reading, sir? Only one value. Suppose I want to read the two values from the keyboard, then automatically what is the option, sir? Anyone, can you please guide? Please guide. I want to read the two values from the keyboard, sir. What is the way, sir? Input of enter two numbers. Enter two numbers, like this I'm taking, sir. Enter two numbers, sir. Sir, now whenever I'm taking two numbers, now the total two numbers is by default considered as one str type only. That's why I require to, sir, split according to our requirement, right? Sir, according to space, we are not required to specify anything, sir. Suppose according to comma, then we require to specify comma, like this, sir. If you are not specifying any argument, by default is what type, sir? Space type. Remember that. Now that string is divided into two values, right? But both values are what types are? Sir, str type only. I want to convert into type. That's why for x in, for each value x in, what I have to do, sir? Int of x. Regarding right, int of x. Sir, this is just, do you know, this is a list of two int values by default you are going to get, sir. Now can you please assign to a comma b is equal to, like this, sir. Everyone can able to understand? Yes, this one I covered two times in the last sessions, not required to keep much explanation, right? Yes, can I expect everyone can able to understand, right? Yes, man. How to read the two numbers from the keyboard, three numbers from the keyboard in a single line? How you can able to do that? Yes, this part already I covered in the last sessions. Not required to keep much explanation, right? Next and after that, even I cover a beautiful concepts are evolve. Regarding that, what is the evolve? Evolve. What is the meaning of evolve, sir? Can you spell out? Evaluate. Can you please evaluate to our specified type? Regarding evaluate, sir, we can use evolve function to find some expressions, sir. 2 plus 20 into 30, something like I'm taking. Sir, this evolve function is going to evaluate the given expression and the returns corresponding result. We are not required to perform any typecasting. Remember that, because evaluate function is going to take care internally what is the type and so on, right? Are you able to understand, right? Sir, this is it can take sir, whatever it's going to take, it's always going to take string type only, sir. It's always going to take string type. Automatically it will evaluate. Now the corresponding type automatically it can able to generate. Remember that. Sir, suppose I want to enter a list. I want to enter a list, sir. If you want to enter a list, what I have to do is just have a look once, sir. I want to enter a list of values. I want to enter, right? Okay. Sir, just have a look once, sir. Okay. I want to enter a list of values. 1 minute, please. 1 minute, please. Okay, 1 minute, please, sir. Yeah. Okay, just take a bit very special care, sir. What I want to take here is just observe that. I want to enter a list. Just observe that a list of values from the keyboard. What I'm taking, sir? List is equal to evolve of, yes, here just I'm taking input of enter list of values. Regarding enter list of values like this. Sir, actually we require to enter list of values. Automatically it is going to treat as a list type, sir. Now enter list of values. Now I'm taking within square bracket 10, 20, 30, 40 like this, right? Now if I'm trying to print a list of type of list, internally what is the type by default is going to be considered, sir? List type. I hope everyone can able to understand. If you want to enter dictionary, no problem at all, you can enter. If you want to enter tuple, yes, sir, any type you are allowed to enter. Sir, this evolve function automatically is going to take care about the corresponding type conversion. Regarding if you are using evolve function, we are not required to perform any typecasting explicitly. Correct, right? Yes, ma'am. Correct, right? I covered already in the last session all these things, right? So I hope you people may remember. Okay, evaluate function is the more powerful, sir, most commonly used function in our programming. That's why don't compulsory you people should aware clearly, right? Sir, next and after that, there is one concept I covered, sir, in the last session. What is that concept? Is command line arguments. Are you getting? Command line arguments, right? Like I'm taking, sir. So do you know whatever arguments we are passing from the command prompt, whatever the arguments we are passing from the command prompt, these arguments are by default considered command line arguments, right? Remember this one, sir. Whatever arguments we are passing from the command prompt, these arguments are by default considered command line arguments. Remember this. Suppose what I want to do is just have a look once, sir. Just let me go to my current working directory. Here I want to execute py test.py. Regarding I want to execute py test.py. Assume that 10, 20, 30, 40 like this I'm taking, sir. So do you know the arguments whatever I'm passing, from the command prompt, these arguments are by default considered command line arguments. Are getting right? Sir, which are command line arguments, right? 10, 20, 30, 40. These things are by default considered as command line arguments. Remember this one, sir. Sir, within the Python program, how these command line arguments are available? By using one special variable. Everyone can able to tell? Yes, ma'am. What is that special variable? Yes, I covered already in the last session. Anyone, can you please tell? whatever arguments we are passing from the command prompt, if you want to read those values, okay, there is one special variable is there. What is that special variable is? Do you know, sir? ARGV. Are you getting? Sir, argument values, something like ARGV. By using this variable, happily we are allowed to get the command line arguments, right? Remember that. Next, ARGV variable is available inside some module. Are you getting that? By default, not available for every program. Compulsory, we require to import that module. Can you spell out? What is that module name, sir? Yes. Can you spell out? What is that module name? Sys module. Are you getting Sys module, right? Okay. Now take a bit very special care about this one, sir. So from Sys, okay, from Sys, import ARGV. Yes, ma'am. If you are keeping this line, ARGV is available for our program, happily we are allowed to access ARGV. Remember that. Sir, now I'm taking print of ARGV. Regarding print of ARGV, right? Sir, can you please tell what is the output by default you are going to get? If I execute like this, right? Py, test.py, 10, 20, 30, 40. If I execute like this, what is the output by default we are going to get? Yes, good. What is the output we are going to get, sir? List of values we are going to get. But in the, what is the first value? What is the first value? Yes, man. Can I spell out? The first value is, sir, file name is the first value. Regarding file name is the first value. Next one after that, this is the second value. This one is nothing but third value. Sir, fourth value, something like this. Remember this one, sir. It is actually a list by default you are going to get. In that, it is not array. It is not array. It is the list. Internally, it is the list, sir. This one itself is by default considered as first command line argument. Sir, this is the second, third, fourth, and so on, right? If you want even list elements we are allowed to access by using index, there is no problem at all. I hope you people may aware, sir. If you want individually, you are allowed to access by using index. If you want by using slice operator, happily we are allowed to do that. No problem at all. Just have a look once, sir. Let me execute this code. Let me execute this code, sir. Okay, here what is the output by default you are going to get? Sir, this is the list. In the first value test.py, sir, 10 and then 20 and then 30 and then 40 by default you are going to get, sir. Yes, everyone can able to understand like this? Ray, can you please spell out? Are you in a position to understand, right? Yes. Sir, in the last session, one or two members told, sir, command line arguments, I didn't get that much clearly. Now take very special care. I'm repeating once again, sir. So whatever arguments we are passing from the command prompt, these arguments are by default considered as command line arguments. Okay. The specialty, the people who are coming from Java background, you people should aware, sir, first command line argument is not 10. First command line argument is nothing but what? A file name. Remember that. I hope in C language also this type of convention is there, sir. First command line argument is always file name. Here also file name itself is the first command line argument, and then this 10 will become second command line argument, right? Sir, if you want, you can observe that output. Okay. Well, next one after that, here I want the first command line argument. Are you getting? I want first command line argument. No problem at all. Sir, print of arg of 0. Yes, argv of 0. Like this, happily you are allowed to use. Now you will get first command line argument. What is the first command line arguments are test.py. Are you getting? What the first ones are test.py, like this. Sir, I don't want file name. I want only the values whatever explicitly I passed. Then happily we can go for slice operator. Anyone, can you please tell, sir? One colon, that's all. One colon, that's all. Sir, begin end step. Somewhere we covered in the last sessions, right? Sir, ARGV is always what is the format of ARGV, sir? If you want, you can observe ARGV of begin, end, and then step. Like this I'm taking, sir. Begin, end, and step. Sir, do you know begin means from which index onwards you want to consider? N means up to what index I require to consider. Step means every time how many steps I have to move, how many iterations, count value, right? Sir, do you want first character, second character, third character, or you want first character, third character, something like this is the increment value. Like in the last session somewhere we covered, right? Sir, begin default value for the begin is 0. I don't want from the 0, that's why I specified explicitly as 1. Next, default value for end is always length of the string, is always a length of the list. That's why we are not required to worry. Default value for the step is also 1. So starts from 1th index to end of the list. Can you please, I want all values. If you want all values, then automatically what is the output by default you are going to get, sir? Have you observed, right? Yes, perfectly. The required values by default you are going to get, sir. Yes. Any explanation is required? Any explanation is required? I hope everyone can able to understand, right? Sir, what is the command line argument? What is the command line argument? Next, and after that, how you can able to read the data from the command line argument, right? Sir, 1 or 2 students are asking some small doubt about this program. What their doubt is, sir, I don't want take like this. Just a colon, that's all. Just a column, that's all. Then what will happen? What the default value? What the default value for begin? What the default value for begin index? 0 to end. 0 to end. Then automatically, including file name also is going to come. Last output, can you please consider? Last output, can you please consider? Including 0 index value also by default you are going to get. Raviteja, I hope you can able to understand. Are you getting right? Sir, that's all. Next, one more doubt some student is asking. Sir, I implemented from sys import argv so that happily we can access argv directly. Sir, I don't want like this. Sir, just I want to take import sys. If I can take import sys, then while accessing compulsory required to use sys sys.argv and so on. Now observe that. Now have a look once. If I can take like this, sir, name argv is not defined. Name argv is not defined. Are you getting that? Okay. That's why what I require to take care here is, sir, sys.argv. Are you getting? Sys.argv. Like every time we require to use sys.argv like this. Divya, I hope you are able to understand now. Yes. Are you able to understand, right? Sir, this is the output by default you are going to get, sir. Okay, that's all. Next, is there any way to print all elements by skipping only middle element from the array? Okay, sir, just directly. Sir, there is no way. Sir, one student is asking. Just this is the doubt, sir. Have a look once, and then I will continue anyway. Don't worry about that, sir. Now, yo, 1 minute, please. 1 minute, please. Okay. Yeah, is there any way to print all elements by skipping only middle element from the array? By skipping only element. Sir, by default, slice operator is available from begin index to end index or something like. Sir, if you don't want the middle element or something like, we require to write the code. Remember that, sir. We require to write the code explicitly. Suresh. Okay, so by default, language level support, automatic support may not available to meet our requirement. Then we require to write explicit extra code, right? Okay, remember that's all. These are about argv. Sir, everyone can able to understand, right? Everyone can able to understand how to read command line arguments. What are the command line arguments? Which is the first command line argument? Next, what is argv? Remember that, sir. Okay, if you feel comfortable up to this, then happily we can go for next level, sir. Okay, now my requirement is just observe a bit very carefully, sir. Sir, I'm taking here, just have a look once. From sys, of course, same example only. From sys import argv. Import argv like this, right? Sir, now I want to print the number of command line arguments. Sir, that's about my requirement, right? Sir, the number of command line arguments. Anyone, can you please guide, sir? How to print number of command line arguments is len of argv. Sir, for the list or for the array, there is one function is there, sir. What is the function name? len. What is the meaning of len, sir? In argv list, how many elements are there? By default we are going to get, so the number of command line arguments is nothing but length of argv. Remember that. Next one after that, the list of command line arguments. Okay, sir, I want the list of command line arguments. The list of command line arguments. Now have a look once, sir. I require to print the total, sir, like this, right? Very simple, argv, like this we can able to print. Now I don't want all, one by one I want, sir. What is the way, sir? I want to print command line arguments one by one. Command line arguments one by one. Regarding command line arguments one by one. What is the way, sir? For each x value in argv. Sir, what is this loop, sir? Anyone can you please tell? For loop. Very soon I will discuss in detail. Don't worry about that. Sir, print of x. Regarding print of, for each value x in argv, can you please print, sir? Can you please print that x like this, right? Now same example whatever I covered, a bit more. Okay, just like now observe that. Now have a look once. Sir, I don't want to take sir, first one is the a, second one is the b, third one is the c, d, something like I'm taking, sir. Can you please observe, sir, the number of command and arguments total? How many command and arguments are there? 5. Now the list of command line arguments are nothing but these of 5. Next, the command line arguments one by one. What the answers are? Test.py. Next, sir, yeah, test.py, a, b, c, d, like 5 values one by one. We are ready to print. Clear? Are you in a position to understand, right? Ray, respond, man. Everyone can able to understand, right? Okay, that's all. Sir, now my requirement is 1 minute, sir. There is some, sir, execute once more, sir. Sir, values in argv considered as which data type by default? Yes, I told, right? argv, all values by default treated as str type. Remember. Next, execute once again. Vedanta, where? Do you have any doubt about this one? Yes. Vedanta Parik, do you have any doubt about this? You are asking me to execute once again. Can I execute the same? Vedant. Yes. If new elements are added, yeah, you can. Sir, just I'm trying to add some more new elements. Regarding right, some more new elements. Okay, new elements I'm trying to add. Sir, now how many command line arguments are there? 7 command line arguments are there because I'm passing ef also extra. Clear, right? Okay. Sir, next and after that 7 f and so on. Next, sir, that's all. This is about like, sir, now I don't want all. Okay, I want one by one all values. Is nothing but this is the option, right? Remember that. Okay. Next, I want to use slice operator. Yes, what there inside slice? Okay. Now I'm taking print of. Sir, slice operator result I'm taking, sir. Slice operator result I'm taking. Sir, what I'm taking? Yes, here just argv of 1, 2, 3. Are you getting that? 1, 2, 3 I'm asking. Sir, can you please tell what is the output by default you are going to get? Starts from 1 to n minus 1. Starts from 1 to n minus 1. N minus 1 means 3 minus 1 means 2 only. So starts from 1 to sir 2 only. 1 to 2 means sir, this one is the 0, this one is the 0, this is the 1, and this is the 2. Then automatically what is the output by default we are going to get? A comma B. That's all. Now observe that. Now have a look once again. Observe the output, sir. Yes, this is the slice operator result A comma B. Everyone can able to understand, right? Yes, I hope your doubt also got clarified. Okay, that's all. This is once you have a list, then you can able to play any games with the index or with the slice operator or by using for loop, for each loop. Like, sir, the people who are coming from other languages like Java, this loop is nothing but what? For each loop. Remember this, right? This loop itself is nothing but for each loop in Java, but in Python we are always going to use the, it is in Python this one is always going to consider that it is a for loop. For loop is nothing but internally for each loop only, right? Okay. Next, In this law, indentation is not required. Compulsory indentation must be required. Raj, indentation must be required. Have you observed, right? Here, just where the print of x started. Okay, not from where for started. Are you getting right? Not from for started. Remember this. Okay, that's all. These are various important things. Various important things. What you people should aware about, sir, how to read, right? Sir, next, I want to do a small chota example, more meaningful example, sir. What my example here is, sir, I will pass a group of values from the keyboard. Okay, something like whenever I'm executing py tester.py, some 20, 10, 20, 30, 40, something like I'm trying to take, sir. If I'm trying to take 10, 20, 30, 40, your Python program has to print, has to read these values, and print sum. That's about my requirement, right? Are you getting? So read these command and arguments and print the sum. Okay, write a Python program to read a list of numbers from the keyboard as command line arguments and print the sum. That is about my requirement. Everyone can able to understand, right? A small chota program I'm ready to develop, sir. Have a look once. Observe that. Read a group of int values from the keyboard, from the keyboard as command line arguments, and the print sum. This is about my requirement, right? Okay, so this is how you can able to do that, sir. Make sure you people should aware. Okay, from can you please tell, sir? From says import argv. Okay, first line completed. Now all the command line arguments are available. In which forms are argv? I mean, in which is argv? Like, sir, I don't want, sir, all the values. I want to exclude first command and argument, because first command and argument is the file name. I don't want to consider. Then automatically what I will take is args is equal to argv of 1 colon. That's all, sir. Oh, sir, whatever numbers you are passing, those numbers I'm saving with another name. What is that name? Is args. Next, what I'm trying to take here is sum is equal to 0, sir. Initial value sum is equal to 0. Next, for x in args. Are you getting? For x in args. In the args, already first thing excluded. That's why if I execute like this, sir, py tester.py 10, 20, 30, 40, something like. So this one is already excluded. Now starts from 10. But internally, it is always going to treat as str type. That's why compulsory we required to convert into int types. N is equal to, sir, int of x. Can you please convert into int type? Now sum is equal to sum plus n. Sir, add that number to the sum. Okay, add that number to the sum. Like this I have to take, sir. Yes, sir, make sure, do you know, these two things will be performed for every number present inside args. Remember this one, sir. Sir, now some people may ask, sir, instead of sum is equal to sum plus n, can I take sum plus is equal to n or not? Yes, why not? Happily you can take, no problem at all, sir. We can use itself is acceptable. Now, sir, loop already completed. Now the sum. Sir, sum is available inside some variable. Just I'm trying to print a sum, sir. Yes, ma'am. Everyone can able to understand? Yes, make sure. Okay. Now, what is the output by default we are going to get, sir? What is the output by default we are going to get? Sir, now just have a look once. The sum is 100. Perfectly, it's going to work. The sum is 100. Sir, assume that I don't want to take like this. Sir, I'm taking 100, 200, 300, sir. Sir, can you spell out what is the sum, sir? 300 plus 300 means 600. The sum is 600 like this. So my main intention of this program is you should be in a position to familiar with how to read the command line arguments in the Python program, how you can use those command line arguments. Everyone should be in a position to understand, right? Yes. Any doubt up to this? Hey, why you are silent, man? Any doubt up to this? Yes. Okay. Sir, what I'm taking here is nothing. Just Kiran, observe a bit very carefully. Sir, ARGV contain all command line arguments, including our file name also. Sir, if you observe, sir, these are the command line arguments. But I want only from here. Are you getting it? So first command line argument onwards, numbers are started. That's why here I'm taking ARGS is equal to ARGB of 1 colon, means starts from first. Can you please read all the values, right? Next, sum is equal to 0 for every x value in ARGS. For each x value inside ARGS, means this is, can you please convert every number to int type and add to the sum? Are you getting it? What I'm going to do is, can you please read these numbers, every number one by one, convert to int type, and then add for that. Then automatically, sir, the sum is sum by default you are going to get. Everyone can aware? Yes. Are you able to understand, right? Okay, that's all. Sir, next and after that, here at the beginning, sum, what is the answer we are going to get, sir? At the beginning, sum we are taking as the 0. Sir, instead of some word, you are allowed to use any word, no problem at all. Next, instead of int function, you are allowed to use eval function also, acceptable. Clear, right? Okay, so that's all. Next, okay, sir, now let me execute this code. Sir, I'm not passing any command line argument. Can you please tell what will happen? I'm not passing any command line argument. What is the sum by default you are going to get? 0. Are you getting right? Sir, slice operator never going to raise any error. Sir, 0 is the answer by default you are going to get. Because the reason is, you are not passing any command line argument. That's why, sir, starts from 1, empty. If the ARGS is empty, for loop is not going to execute. That's why, sir, simply the sum is nothing but now the default value, whatever I assign, 0 by default is going to print. Everyone can aware? Yes. That's all. Sir, this is one small sample code. Based on this knowledge, happily you can practice some more, sir. Just my intention is you should familiar with the one word ARGV. That's all, sir. Okay. Even multiple things are by default available. Multiple alternatives are available. Sir, this much code I don't want. I want a shortcut. I want to write concise code. Yes, we can able to do that. No problem at all, sir. Okay. That's all. This is one way of coding. Okay. Now my requirement is, observe, next there are 1 or 2 important points are available, sir. Let me talk about these points. Here, how you are passing command line argument? Now take a bit very special case, sir. Okay, how you are taking command line arguments? This is the first one, this is the second, this is the third, this is the fourth. Sir, usually, what is the separator between command line arguments? Every time after entering first, sir, I'm taking, what is the separator, sir? Space is the separator between first command line argument, second command line argument, third command line argument, like that, right? Space is the separator. Suppose my requirement is, take very special case, sir. Sir, I'm taking print of ARGV, of 1 I'm taking, sir. Can you please print ARGV of 1 I'm taking? Sir, import, here can you please tell from sys import ARGV. Okay, that's all. Sir, now let me execute the code like this. Sir, py tester.py. Sir, I'm taking Sunny Leone. Okay, like this I'm taking, sir. Can you please tell what is the output by default you are going to get now? Hooray, the code is already there. How am I executing? Sir, the output. Can I spell out what is the output by default you are going to get? Is a, Oi Raj, what is the output by default we are going to get? Is it Sunny or is it Sunny Leone? Yes, man. What is the output? Output by default we are going to get. Okay. Remember that, sir. Actually, here have you observed? Have you observed, right? Sir, this total thing I want to consider as single command line argument only. But here space is there. But space is there. That's why it is first. I mean, one index command line argument. This one is nothing but second index command line argument. Remember this one, sir. This is the one index. This one is the second index command line argument. That's why only Sunny by default you are going to get, sir. Observe that a bit carefully. Only Sunny. Only Sunny. Sir, usually space is the separator between command line argument. If our command line argument itself contains space, sir, oi, can you please consider this total thing as one command line argument? Don't consider as two command line argument. How you can able to do that, sir? Most of the people who are coming from Java background, you people may aware. Can you spell out, sir? What is the way? What we have to do, sir? Mandatory. You require to enclose within double quotes. Remember this one, sir. We require to enclose within double quotes. Now this total thing is treated as only one command line argument. Remember this one, sir. This total thing is treated as only one command line argument. Now have a look once. Then automatically, do you know what is the output by default you are going to get, sir? Sunny Leone. Are you getting? Because ARGB of 1, this total thing is treated as only one command line argument. That's why happily Sunny Leone by default is the output we are going to get. Yes. Up to this, everyone can able to understand, right? Yes, man. Now I have one small doubt, sir. observe a bit carefully. Can I use instead of double quotes, can I use single quotes? Instead of double quotes, can I use single quotes? Yes or no? Respond each and every person. Instead of double quotes, can I use single quotes? Compulsory. You people should aware. Okay? No problem, right? Here I'm taking, sir, Sunny, sir, Leone. Like I'm taking. Single quote I'm taking. Can you please tell what is the output we are going to get? Hey, respond, man. Same. Sunny Leone is the answer we are going to get, right? Now have a look once. Now observe a bit carefully. So we can use either double quotes or single quotes, no problem at all. Because in Python, string means a sequence of characters either within single quote or double quote. Correct? Yes. Can I get the same answer? Respond, man. Can I get the same answer? Guru Prasad, I hope some people may execute it. Don't do that. Concentrate only on lesson. Okay? What is the answer by default you are going to get? Okay, let me do that. What is the answer by default you are going to get, sir? Oh, Sunny. Here, have you observed? My required answer is not coming. Okay? Remember, compulsory. Sir, we should enclose that argument within double quotes only. In this case, single quotes are not going to work. Okay? Maybe internally, sir, the Python in ARGV, it is implemented like that. Because who is creating that list? Who is creating the list with these values? Python itself. I'm not creating. That's why internally it is going to treat if double quotes are there, then only the single value. If the single quote is there, then it's not going to treat. Are you getting right? Then what about triple quotes? What about triple double quotes and so on? Sir, Divya is ready asking the question. Let me cross check. Sir, triple double quotes, sir, triple, like this I'm taking, sir. Okay, now have a look once, sir. Have a look once. Here, have you observed, right? This is sir, something like double quotes by default is coming in our output, man. Remember earlier I'm getting just only Sunny Leone. but here double quotes is going to consider. Okay, next and after that, one more. Okay, sir, triple single quote, triple single quote. Next and after that, triple. Okay, like this I'm taking. Wow. Are you able to understand, right? Sir, make sure you people should aware, because Python is the responsible to create that list. That's why it is always going to consider double quotes only, but not a single quotes. Whether it is the triple single quotes also, it is not going to be considered, right? Everyone can able to understand? Yes, Divya, I hope clear. Okay, that's all. Sir, this is about, sir, command line arguments. Usually, space is the separator, right? If our command line argument itself contains space, compulsory, we should enclose within double quotes, but not single quotes. Remember that, sir. Very important. All these things I documented already in the notes form. I will share. Don't worry about that. Okay. Sir, next, what is the next another important point is there, sir? What is that point is? Take a bit very special case, sir. Already, I hope most of the people are already aware. Sir, now I'm taking a small chota program, ARGV of 1 plus ARGV of 2, sir. Remember this. Sir, what is the first one? ARGV of 1 plus ARGV of 2, sir. Now my requirement is, sir, PY, next 10, 20 I'm taking. Can you please tell what is the output I will get now? Yes. What is the answer we are going to get? Everyone should tell. What is the answer we are going to get? 10 and 20. Sir, here ARGV of 1 plus ARGV of 2. Good. Everyone should tell what is the output by default you are going to get, sir. Okay? Make sure the output we are always going to get 10, 20 is the answer. Are you getting that? What is the output we are going to get? 10, 20 is the answer. Because, sir, internally, these are things by default treated as STR type only. Sir, this is the STR. This one is the STR. STR plus STR is nothing but what? String. Remember this one. STR plus STR itself is nothing but what? String type. Okay. Make sure what is the between two string arguments plus operator is always going to work as do you know? It is always concatenation only. Remember that. What the answer by default you are getting, sir? So 10, 20 by default we are going to get, sir. Now I have another small doubt, sir. What is my doubt is, sir, how I want to perform arithmetic addition. What is the way, sir? Compulsory we require to use int of ARGV plus int of ARGV2, like this, right? Now, definitely it is going to work, no problem at all. Sir, that is the answer. Or instead of that, happily we are allowed to use eval function also, no issue at all. Clear? I hope are you in a position to understand, right? Okay, that's all. This is the output by default. We are going to get, sir. Okay. Yes, int is the predefined function. Eval is also predefined function. Okay, remember. So next, one more doubt. So up to this is the clear. Every command line argument is always treated as a string type only. So that's why by mistake, if you are performing plus operator, compulsory, it is always going to treat string type only. Concatenation is going to be performed, sir. But I don't want concatenation. I want arithmetic addition. Then automatically compulsory we require to convert into int type. Make sure, sir, you people should aware. Okay, sir. Now one more small thing is available, sir. Take a bit very special case, sir. What is that is? Suppose I'm trying to access ARGV of 100. I'm trying to access ARGV of 100 like this, right? Sir, if I'm trying to access ARGV of 100, then automatically, can I spell out, sir? Is it valid or invalid? Yes, invalid. Remember, invalid. Sir, am I getting error or no output? Anyone, can you please tell? Am I getting error or no output? Yes. I want answer from everyone. Am I going to get no output or am I going to get error? Or simply maybe 0 also. New answer from Vikas. Among these three, which one is the correct, sir? Okay, good, good. Remember that. Good, good. Remember, very important point, sir. Sir, do you know, whenever we are using slice operator, we never going to get any error. But here I'm not using any slice operator, directly index. Remember this, directly index. If this index is not available, then we are going to get index error, list index out of range. Remember this. In the case of slice operator, we never going to get error. But here I'm not using slice operator, sir. Directly by using index I'm trying to get. If that index is not available, then immediately we will get index error. Remember, have a look once. What is the error? By default we are getting index error, list index out of range. Are you getting list index out of range? Okay, that's all. So these are various important points you people should be aware about command line arguments. Now I hope everyone can able to understand, right? Yes. Okay. Yes, it's very clear, sir. If I use sir, something like sir, 7 to 1,000 I'm taking. Are you getting? What is this operator? Please respond. What is this operator? Slice operator I'm using. If I use slice operator, what is the output by default you are going to get, sir? Same request. Have you observed? Empty. Empty. We never going to get error. Empty list by default we are going to get, because internally ARGB is nothing but list. That's why empty list we are going to get. We never going to get error. But if you are trying to access directly with the index, ARGB of okay, like immediately we will get index error, list index out of range. Everyone can aware? Yes. Are you in a position to understand, right? Okay, that's all, sir. These are the things what you people should aware about command line arguments, right? Remember that. Even native value also, even for native value also parts are there. Even in that case also, if you are trying to access index by index, if that index is not available, then we will get what? Error. If you are trying to use a slice operator, you never going to get any error. Make sure, sir. Okay, that's all clear. Okay, so these are important loopholes about, sir, input part. Okay, just the only input how to use input function. Next, what about typecasting functions? Are you getting? What about the typecasting functions? Like anyone can you please tell which functions are there? In function you are allowed to use, float function we are allowed to use. Next one after that, bool function we are allowed to use most of the times. Next one after that, what is the purpose of eval function? Next, how to read the command line arguments? Next, what is the need of ARGB variable and the sys module? Are you getting? Sys module, like that's all. These words, whenever I'm using in the next sessions, you should not feel that, sir, we don't know about ARGB, we don't know about command line arguments, like you should not use. I hope it's very clear for each and every person in the session. Clear, right? Ray, if you feel comfortable, then happily we can go for what? Output function. Okay, output statements, right? So how to read input is clear. Next, we have to talk about, sir, output statements, right? Remember that. Okay, sir, this part anyway I will discuss in the next session.